Hey y'all, this is BG Codes and I am Brad Garropy. Now it's wintertime, it's getting cold, and maybe you want to get into the spirit. Maybe you want to see some snow, add some snowflakes to your website. Well, I did that on bradgarropy.com and I'm going to teach you how to do that today. Here's what it ultimately looks like. You have this really nice gentle snow falling effect on the page, all rendered by a canvas element. Now I used this Gatsby plugin called gatsby-plugin-let-it-snow by Ray, or Queen Ray as she goes by on Twitter. There's her Twitter account. Definitely want to shout her out. And let's get started. I'll teach you how to add this to your Gatsby website. So we'll start with the plain old Gatsby starter. This is my personal Gatsby starter, and I'll link that in the description below. And we'll get started by first installing the plugin. So the plugin is under Ray, Gatsby plugin, let it snow. And then there's just a config that you have to add to your Gatsby config.js file. And that's really it. But I'm also going to show you how to go one step further and support dark mode. So you're in your Gatsby config.js file here. And now we're going to go ahead and add the configuration for Gatsby plugin let it snow. So we've got resolve. We want to resolve Ray, Gatsby plugin let it snow. And now it takes some options. And I'm going to go over all the different options to show you, what it can actually do. So first, it takes an array of colors. It can support multiple different colors of snowflakes that fall. It's got a duration where you can set the amount of time, an intensity, like kind of how fast and how much snow is coming down. And then it has a season, which is essentially when this snow effect runs on your website. So we'll go over these one by one. So first, let's start off and we'll just make some nice and easy blue snow. I memorized this blue color here. That looks okay. Duration, let's just put something like 10 minutes. For now, this doesn't support infinite duration, but there's a release in the future coming out that will support it. Intensity, you can have a couple different values. You can have light, regular, or blizzard. So we're just going to go with regular. And then season. Season's really interesting. There is a start and an end property here. So you're telling this plugin only run during this time frame. These are date objects. So we're going to instantiate new dates in both of these. And what this plugin actually does is it chops off the year of any date that you add in, and then uses just the month and the day to repeat that time frame. So I'll just put in December 1st because I want it to start snowing on my site in December, and then I'll end January 1st. And when you make a date object without a year on it, it's just going to default to 1970, but that doesn't matter in the case of this plugin. The plugin's just going to get rid of that. So we actually have this installed, ready to go. I'm going to start this up. And once it's up and running, we should have snow on our website. Still building. I'll give it a refresh. And there we go. Now you can see nice little blue snow coming down on the website. So let's explore some of the different features and build up to our dark mode implementation. So first, I mentioned that the colors array can actually accept multiple colors. So let's make the first color red, and then we'll make a second color green. Now, because we changed a value in the Gatsby config, the whole build process is going to have to run again. So this will take a second as we do this. Checking, still building here. There, and now you see, instead of just the blue that we had defined last time, we're getting red and green snow effects on the page. And you'll notice that this is over everything. This is like the highest Z index that you can get, essentially. And I think that's probably the effect that you want. You don't want snow falling in the background. You want it falling in the foreground. All right. So colors also supports CSS variables. And this is going to be key to supporting dark mode and light mode on your site if you want the snow to change colors. So what we're going to do is we're going to define a CSS variable. This is my global styles file, and you'll notice I've got a bunch of other variables in the root. Let's just define one called snow, and we'll make it red again. Right there. Now, if we go back to our configuration, we'll get rid of the array of colors, and the way that it accepts CSS variables is you do the dash dash and then the name of the variable. So snow here is going to match the name of the CSS variable in our root. Again, this is going to have to rebuild because we changed the Gatsby config file. So we'll start the build. There we go. Restart the server. And when this comes back up, we should now just have red snow again, because now we're using, there we go, red snow, because we're using the color value from the CSS custom property called snow. Okay, now we're going to take this one step further. What we can do is we can use a media query to support dark mode and actually change the color of the snow. If you were to imagine, the background is going to change. Snow is usually white, and if you went into dark mode, the background is dark, and that's perfect. But if it's in light mode, it's kind of difficult, right, to see. So coming back here, what we're going to do is we're going to go to our styles.css. We're going to use a media query to go ahead and add in prefers color scheme, and the value is going to be dark. And so this says when the user prefers a dark color scheme, we're going to change the value of the snow custom property. Let's just say it's green. So we actually have red when it's light mode and green when it's dark mode. And this won't require a reboot of your server. You didn't modify the config file. And so we're currently in light mode. But I'll show you how to emulate light and dark mode. You could go to your system preferences and actually change it. But in Chrome, you can click on this button up here, go down to more tools, and there's a rendering tool right here, where if you scroll down to the bottom, there is a CSS media prefers color scheme emulation. So if we change it to light, no change. If we go to dark, this should turn green. Now you'll see the red ones are still falling, right? They have to exit the screen, but now all new snowflakes generated are going to be green. We switch back to light. Now you're going to see more red ones. And just to make this like a little bit more visible, let's go ahead and say the HTML background color is black, let's say, in dark mode. We'll use the existing black CSS variable. And let's say the heading that I have on the page here is going to be white. This is going to be a whole lot easier. So we're in light mode. Everything is normal. When we go to dark, now we actually have a black background with white text. And now the snowflakes are turning green. So that's how you can do dark mode switching of your snowflake effects. And that's exactly how I handled things on bradgarropy.com. I have a light mode and a dark mode, and you'll see the snowflakes turn white when it's dark mode. And they're kind of like gray a little bit so that you can see them on the white background in the light mode. So during my time working with this plugin, I was definitely asking a lot of Ray. She was adding a bunch of feature requests just for me. And I decided, I would contribute. It's part of being a good open source citizen. If there's any issue you can handle or contribute back to a library that you use, please do so. So this is her demo website called Let It Snow. And I added these two input fields where you can actually change the colors with CSS variables of the snow. So now we have red and green snow. And this is just kind of showing off the fact that it does support CSS variables. So thank you so much for watching this video about how to add snow to your website, specifically your Gatsby website. If you like these kinds of tutorials, definitely watch more on my YouTube channel or join me on Twitch, twitch.tv/bradgarropy. And follow me on Twitter for any more updates, twitter.com/bradgarropy. This has been VG Codes, and I'm Brad Garropy. Peace.